Hey, 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 hey. Alright, let's do a fish room update and try not to shake the camera around too much to make it too sick. Angels. I am not sure. Let's turn that light off. There we go. I'm not sure if... I'm pretty sure these guys have been picking on each other, because recently I have found the smallest one dead every couple days. So I didn't think that would be an issue, having 14 or 15 angels in a 55-gallon tank, but apparently it was a thing. And it may be because I'm just kind of bare tanking it. Got a couple rocks, half of a broken $2 pot, and a handful of sponge filters. And this one's acting up now. Stupid thing. Maybe I need to raise it up. Anyways. Alright. I don't remember from the last... Oh, let me show you this. I am super excited about this. Yeah. We'll get back to this little section over here. But I got my sink plumbed somewhat down here, so no more carrying buckets, sort of. And the reason that is I plumbed the supply line but not the drain. So right now if I turn the sink on and just let water run in it, or if I go to use the python to drain the tanks via the sink, all the water just kind of splashes out in the floor, and that's not exactly ideal. But no more carrying heavy buckets of water down the steps. That is super, super, super exciting. And if I don't keep an eye on this tank, I'll overflow it, and we'll have people shouting at me at my videos like they do at Jeffro on Monday nights. This tank here, I don't know if I showed you what happened to it in my last update, but I will do that right now. Okay, changed locations in order to get me a seat a little bit, but basically this tank here, I don't know if I mentioned it to you, if I had the stuff in the last video or not, the last fish room update, but I got a steal of a deal. Okay, let's start over on it. So every now and then I go into PetSmart just to kind of look around and waste some time, and take the kids to go see some fish and this and that. So I went into the PetSmart, and they had a sale going on where it was buy one get one free fish, or buy one get two free fish, or something like that. And I just couldn't help myself, and I picked up I saw some rams that I liked, and they had bristlenose plecos, and they had some Jack Dempseys and convicts, and I was all about it. They had good pricing. They were buy one get one free, buy one get two free, that type of stuff. And I was about to load up on some convicts, and I noticed that they had ick in their tank. Them and the Jack Dempseys were pretty covered in ick, and so I debated on getting it anyways, but I passed on those and went to the tank right next to it and picked out the rams and the bristlenose plecos. And idiot me, didn't even think they run a central system there. Just a tip to any of you all that want to run a big fish room or run a fish store, don't do a central system. Because I knew better, but I didn't think about it. If the tank next to it has ick, all the tanks have ick. The tank with the rams and the bristlenose that I picked out of, it had the ick in there, and I didn't notice it. And of course this tank didn't have anything in it, so I set it up that it would have been the quarantine tank itself, so I didn't put them in with the community of anything else. But sure enough, the next day I realized that they were very, very well covered in egg, and I started treating with egg treatment. I started doing water changes. I already had the temperature set at a decently high temperature, and yeah, I lost all the rams and all the bristlenose except for one, and I think he's still in. I saw him earlier today saying they're swimming around somewhere, but I just got the water a little low right now because I was doing another water change on it. But that continues my luck with bristlenose. Speaking of bristlenose, let's see if we can zoom in on this little guy. Let's see if we can make it focus. Nope. It does not want to focus. But this one I picked up from a fish store that just opened 2 days ago. I went in there on his first day, and he said he had 4 of them. I said I'll take all 4, and only one of them could be found. The other 3 were being elusive, and he wasn't sure where they were. So I picked up that one. I put it in this tank, knowing that the tank beside of it here had ick, and it's been doing all right. And this tank here, there he is. That one seems to be doing all right. I haven't seen any spots of ick on it, but I'm going to continue doing the good water changes and stuff. And I'm not putting anything in here besides him for a little while. Alright, swing around here. Let's come down here to Mr. Grumpy. He's doing a little better about being out and about. Maybe hungry. He's a little low also from working on a water change. Note to self: after filming this video, clean the glass. You say you're going to do it every time and you never do. But this is my crib tank. I don't know if you can make out the male hiding down in there, and got the female over there. And I'm not sure where the fry ducked off to. There's one down under the filter. I don't know if you can make it out or not. Yeah, I went to mostly gravel in this tank. Oh, I did in that tank too. I'm still working on that one. Got the pea pebble, washed it real good, and it was like $3 for a 25-pound bag or whatever it was. So I'm looking at trying different types of substrate to get a variety and to kind of show you the options of different types of substrate that you can use in your tanks. But if you didn't notice, now they're hiding up in the corner. I threw the 2 smallest angels out of my 55 over here. I figured the cribs would be the least aggressive towards the angels, and the angels wouldn't bother the fry at the point, at the age that the fry are at. If they lay again, I may have to move the angels, but I figured moving the 2 smallest to this tank will give them a better chance, being that I do believe that their younger siblings suffered some what's it called? Sibling side or something? some hostilities. Alright, now to the tank over here. Anybody that's been following my channel will be asking, what in the world is going on here? I have a tank full of convicts. That's right. I have been trying to get convicts since I started my fish room. And they've been one of my fish on my list since the beginning, and I have had the hardest trouble finding them, the worst luck with them. I found a little pair, and one of them killed the other, so I threw him in this tank with a fire mouth and some black neons. Black neons are still in there darting around somewhere. They're not schooling as much now that there's quite a few more fish in there. And then I got Mr. Grumpy down there and his mate, and he killed her, and I just couldn't find any. And when I went and got the rams, I almost picked up some at the PetSmart, but then the local guy was opening his local fish store, and he had convicts, and I just couldn't pass up. He had a really good deal on them, so I grabbed a few of those. And then one of the guys that I'm talking about starting the local fish club with, he had some he brought over, and I have a very decent start on some convict cichlids, I would say. And I have males and females. They're being a little aggressive, but with the number of them in there and the hiding spots that I have, they are doing very well. Males and females, so hopefully I'll get some pairing up before long. And when I get a pairing up going, they will get a tank of their own. And that kind of brings us over here. Yep, the tank that was under here is gone. It's over here. The 20 high that was in the corner, it's up here. And that's the tank that was my closet tank, my cool water tank, my problem tank, whatever you want to call it. That's it. So I have had people offer to give me fish, or I've seen really good deals on fish that was like a once in a lifetime buy. But I had convicts and firemouths here. Speaking of that, let me finish up what I was doing here. So when I brought the other convicts in, I knew that Mr. Convict, or Mr. Firemouth, would eat or kill the little ones, like this one here, maybe even the little one that's back there. It's not focusing, of course, but the little ones I knew that the Firemouth would kill. Not having another tank set up, I went and bought a trash can, drilled holes in the bottom of it, put some big stones in it, and set it on top of Mr. Grumpy's little cave. Of course, it filled up with water. I moved Firemouth over there into the trash can and turned my back on him. Any guesses what happened? Well, he jumped out of the trash can and into the floor, and I didn't find him for a few hours later. So that kind of puts a stop to the Firemouth program for now. Okay, so back to these tanks. So people offering to give me fish, or having deals on fish that I couldn't take advantage of because I didn't have anything set up at the time. I had the convicts, the breeding cribs, Mr. Grumpy, the angels, and for a moment the ick tank. I didn't have anywhere to put the stuff, so I had to not take advantage of it. So I had 3 tanks sitting here with nothing in them, no water, no heaters, no filters, no nothing. And I said, I'm going to do something about that. So I've got a couple heaters. I've got one in here and one in here. You can see I moved the substrate out of this tank into this tank, and I need to do some changes to it and put some more in there. But for now, it's got sand in there. I've got a filter here that will be going down in there, and there's a filter in the 55 that will be going in here, and I got another filter over in Mr. Grumpy's tank that will be going in here. So I have them all filtered. These two will be heated, that one not quite yet so much. See, the plan was to heat the fish room, so I haven't been buying heaters, but I haven't been buying a heater or heating system for the fish room yet either. So in the meantime, I need to go ahead and get some heaters and stuff. Alright, so this tank here, talking to someone else that I'm talking about, talking to another person that I'm talking to about starting the local fish club. Does that make any sense? So a second guy that I've been talking to about starting the fish club, he has some little multis, some shell dwellers that he's looking to part with. So I am going to get this tank, this 20 long, set up for them. And I didn't want them sitting right on the concrete on the floor, so I had these 2x10s, I believe they are, that I just have laid down there right now. And if I do my math right, with a little bit of a gap in the middle there, the 2x10s in the end game, after I get them up off the floor, will be wide enough side by side like that, that I could either put 20 gallons or 29s or whatever on them. But I should be able to turn 10 gallons long ways on them and have a whole row of 10 gallons. Or if I leave a little bit more of a gap, I could put 40 breeders on them. But it'll give me some options there. I know. I said I was going to go with all wooden stands, all wooden racks, and I'll get around to it, but this is what I've got right now. And then you see the 2 wires coming up from the heaters to an extension cord that's hanging and going through the curtain over to a power strip over there, and a mess up here and back around. Yeah, that's my electrical. I'll get to it. But on the other side of the curtain is where I've got my new lighting. If you haven't seen that, I posted that on Instagram. And my little table that I do some of my videos at. And the looks of it. I may be expanding the fish room over there before I was really meaning to, if I don't start going up. But that's pretty much it for right now. I'm going to get back to doing some water changes. I am so excited to not have to carry the buckets down the steps. That was a pain. And I figured 5 gallons of water, 8 pounds per gallon. So that's what, 40 pounds per bucket, and I was carrying 2 buckets at a time. So carrying 80 pounds down the steps multiple times to do a water change. That'll that'll make you wish you had a python. I mean, now I understand why Gary Lang says Gary doesn't carry. Gary don't carry, or whatever he says. But yeah, I'm excited to have this many convicts, and for now they're all getting along. Trying to get them to eat some, what was it, the tropical, tetra tropical color granules. Yeah, my fish don't seem to like them so much, but I'm gonna keep trying it because I like how they hold their form a little bit better than the flakes. I'm gonna continue giving them flakes, but give them the granules as well, and then add some more variety in also. But I've heard a lot of people speak well of the color granules, so we'll keep that up. And yeah, you have to check back in a couple weeks and see how things are going down here. Maybe I'll have some shell dwellers, maybe I'll have some oddball stuff, maybe I'll have some live bears. I'm wanting to get some live bears, but for some reason I keep coming home with cichlids. I don't know. Well, leave me some comments, let me know what you think. Or whatever, and if you like what I'm doing, give me a thumbs up. If you don't really like it, give me a thumbs down. But if you do like it, hit the subscribe button. The little notification bell over there will tell you when I've uploaded something, and the share button up around there somewhere, it lets you tell your friends about my stuff. The more people we get together, the more we'll be able to share about fish and expand the hobby, and I'll just have a huge fish party. We'll see you next time.